Hey everyone, welcome to the Prairie Grown Reviews YouTube channel. My name is Sebastian.
I'm Austin.
And I'm Nathaniel.
And today we are going to review Season 2, Episode 1 of The Mandalorian called The Marshal. Now, we have a website full of lots of reviews called prairiegrownreviews.com where you can find many reviews of all books, games, movies, new and old.
Yep.
And also, we will be doing this every week for movies, games, and books, this type of review style. Now, I'd like to ask you, Nathaniel, what your thoughts are about Star Wars and just your thoughts on Mandalorian Season 1 in general.
Okay. Well, for Star Wars, I haven't really watched many of the main trilogy since I was a kid. It's been a while, but I remember the most recent Star Wars movie I probably watched was Rogue One. That was pretty enjoyable. It was great. Mandalorian Season 1 was also really enjoyable. There was a lot of good action scenes in there, good story, good character development, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Nice. You, Daily? Awesome.
Personally, I really enjoyed Mandalorian Season 1 a lot more than any other Star Wars movie, TV show, including the animated ones. Basically, Mandalorian blew my expectations out of the water, personally. I loved all of 8 episodes, and I got the same aspect going into what we've watched so far of Season 2, so
Yeah, literally.
that's the way I'm feeling so far.
Yeah, for me, my dad showed them to me when I was 6. They were a big part of my childhood. I rewatched the original trilogy every year. I saw all the sequels in theaters opening weekend and the spin-offs. I haven't really watched Clone Wars, but I've watched the first season of Rebels at this point. Mandalorian Season 1 was awesome. It was super cool. There was some great action. There was some great characters. Baby Yoda, or the child, great surprise. Awesome for the show. And it was not what I expected, but better in so many ways. And it's just a great addition to the Star Wars universe. And before we keep going, another plug, Star Wars related, we do have a video game review coming out, Star Wars Squadrons, coming out on
November 2nd. It'll be 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, so go check that one out.
Check that one out, folks. So, now we're just going to start off with a quick non-spoiler review of the episode.
Sounds good.
What do you guys think?
I'll take the mic first here. I loved it. We picked up right where we left off from the end of Season 1 straight into Season 2. It's fantastic flow. The gap of time seemed relatively small, and personally I enjoyed that. Didn't feel like there was a whole lot of catching up to do, our characters had changed all that much, and it flowed really smoothly the whole time. Both the images of planets and all sorts of other things that were seen in this episode were spectacular, very much so on par with what we saw in Season 1, and I couldn't be happier with what we got out of this one of 8 episodes for this season. What are you thinking?
I agree. That was really fun. There was really good action scenes throughout this episode. It wasn't just all exposition. There was some exposition. It was really nice. Overall, it was a really fun episode.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. From the trailers, we knew that Mando was going to take the child to find his people and find more Mandalorians, to find a race of sorcerers called the Jedi. And so this episode starts right off with him looking for more Mandalorians, and we see his journey trying to find them. It does, as Nathaniel pointed out, have some really great action throughout. There's some new characters that are very interesting. We see some familiar places. It is on par with any episode from Season 1, and it makes me look forward to the rest of the 7 that are coming up.
Oh, absolutely.
So at this point now, it's going to be spoiler talk, spoiler talk, spoiler talk. We will have a big thing flashing. You will know it is spoiler time. If you don't want to hear our spoiler thoughts, you want to watch the episode and come back, do that. But from now on, spoilers.
Go check out the episode. We'll be back.
So, the big thing, Boba Fett.
Oh my goodness, right?
Are you kidding me? They at the beginning you get the Marshal, and the man, he's in the getup, but there was something off about him, from the beginning. His arm plates, he did not have any. He was wearing this red, what looked like a sweatshirt.
He looked, from the moment he walked, he's introduced to us firsthand as a Mandalorian, but as soon as he walks in, you can tell that something's not quite right. We didn't just see Boba Fett walk in, right? It's very clear that something there is is not quite right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it becomes super apparent about 4 seconds later when the helmet comes off and everybody knows.
You hear from his voice too. As soon as he starts talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you knew Boba Fett was this like mythical character from the originals. Like,
Yeah.
he was only in the last 2. He barely spoke any dialogue, but he captured the great Han Solo.
Yeah.
He froze him in carbonite.
Yeah.
So giving him that entrance is not what you're wanting or expecting. But what they get at the end of the episode with a unhelmeted Boba Fett, I can't remember the actor who plays him at the moment, but he also played Jango Fett in the prequels, and they dubbed him for the originals later on. But you see him walking, staring at the Mando as Mando's off on his speeder bike going back to Mos Eisley, and yes, we are back on Tatooine. Though we see a part of Tatooine we have never seen before, which adds a new part of the Star Wars legend and adds another flavor to the home planet of Luke Skywalker and Anakin. But no, so it was quite interesting. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was a red herring.
Yep, absolutely.
So
Hard to say if that's where that's going to take us, but I'd be very surprised if we don't go farther down that road, especially with some other things we saw throughout the episode. But I think we're going to let Nathaniel jump on this bandwagon before we go off on a 15-minute tangent and bore you all to death. So,
yeah.
if you got any sparkling remarks.
Not really, actually.
No,
Not really?
No,
I figured,
you guys covered pretty
I
much
figured
everything
we
that.
kind of
Yeah.
went off on a
That was
little bit
pretty
of
much
a roll there,
the
but-
biggest part of the whole episode is the ending when you see him just staring off the sunset.
Yeah, it was definitely a shock. It was not expected.
Not at all.
I watched theory videos, and yes, Boba Fett was rumored, and there was this and that. There was no confirmation. It's not like there was an article released. Boba Fett's coming back.
Yep.
As many of you know, he's dead. If not, don't take any spoilers from 1983 too personally. Go watch the movie.
Yeah, you can figure that one out on your own. But I got a hot question for all 3 of us here. Are we thinking Boba Fett's for or against both the Mandalorian and the quest he's on right now to return the child to his people? Is he gonna be in accordance with what he's trying to do, or is he gonna be totally and absolutely turned into a villain against Mando?
That's a very good question. So, originally, people say that in season 1, episode 5, the episode on Tatooine in season 1, the very ending, it looked like there was a tease for Boba Fett, and people have been speculating about that ever since.
Absolutely.
The thing is, Boba Fett, when Disney bought Lucasfilm and all the Star Wars stuff, they put everything that they, other than the movies and Clone Wars, became legends. So all these books have been written since 1980 about Boba Fett are not canon. But we have the comics and books released since Disney bought it that are considered canon. But I, having not read those specific books, I don't know what, like, he's in the original trilogy, but he poses just as a second or maybe even third antagonist for the heroes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what his morality is going to be.
It's true.
Or, like, what his thoughts are on Jedi. He worked with Darth Vader, but Darth Vader is a Sith.
Yeah.
And he fought Luke, but Luke, they did personally fight.
No, it's hard to say where his actual alliance lays, or if he was in it for the cash at the end. As one of the, if not the most renowned bounty hunter we've
ever known in Star Wars.
So
He's probably like the neutral force.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes he'll help, sometimes he won't. If it aligns with his goals, he'll help.
So it'll be super interesting to see which side of things he takes with Mando here.
Calling it now, though, he gets his armor back by the end of the season. He's wearing it full-fledged by the end of the
You
season.
mean what's left of his armor?
Well, yes, and he can rebuild the
scraps.
Yeah, the scraps.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know people have speculated since Return of the Jedi, because a lot of people were not happy with that death. It was kind of phony. Having just watched the movie 2 days ago, it is. He should not have died that way, and people have speculated that he crawled out of the Sarlacc pit and he made his way onto Tatooine or off. But it seems he's stayed there for the past 5 years, and he has found himself, I don't know, maybe he's hunting without, but he was never exactly the fully fledged Mando that Mando is.
No.
So
It's hard to say.
it's hard to say. any other big things? What do you guys think of the worm, the dragon, the crate dragon? Crate dragon, that's the term.
Yeah, great
It was way bigger than I expected.
Way bigger.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
holy crap, that thing was huge.
Oh, when it spewed like bile everywhere, that was
Yeah,
an
that was.
interesting
I
attack.
appreciated that turn because we didn't have a whole lot of information about the thing other than it was massive and it
Yeah,
ate what you told it not to eat.
yeah pretty much.
People do get eaten in this episode. Just putting that out there.
Mhm.
Not really good people though. It's they throw the Tusken Raiders under the bus. You don't like them sand people, they die.
We do see a couple civilians get eaten, but that's
No.
minor damage.
Minor damage. It's mostly the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some Banthas. If you're a heartthrob for them Banthas, sorry, it's not your episode.
Very rough episode for you.
Not your episode, my
But-
friend.
We'll get back to those later on, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bile was a fantastic turn. We went from the two-dimensional being to a whole nother possibility when it comes out of the top of the mountain, right? It doesn't just stay in its
Yeah.
It's not just underground. All of a sudden it's back on top, right? Gives you that uncertainty of where is it coming from next, right?
So, question for you both. You
Yep.
think we come back to Tatooine this season? We only went once last. And of course, people don't want this to hold on to the original trilogy for
Yep.
all its might. They want it to
Yep.
create its own space, carve its own identity. So, I don't think we come back. I think Boba Fett. The only way we come back is if we come back for Boba Fett. Otherwise, we see him on a different planet. He follows Mando. Maybe he tries to capture the child, as we even saw in this episode. Even though that was just for Beskar, they're willing to. People still know that he carries the child
Yeah,
around,
absolutely.
and that's going to create a mark. Like that's got a
Yeah,
bounty
he's
on his
gonna-
head. So
Exactly.
Just like they say at the start, he's both hunter and prey,
yeah,
right? So, now what do you think?
It depends. If he ever has like a reason to come to Tatooine, maybe. But
Yeah.
at the moment, it doesn't really seem like it. I think he's pretty much done with this planet.
I think
yeah.
I'd assume we're gonna start the next episode on Tatooine.
Yeah.
Since we're still there.
He didn't
I think-
leave.
I think the big thing as to whether we come back after that is if we get a final resolution between Boba Fett and Tatooine. Because if we leave, Mando leaves Tatooine, and we have no idea where Boba Fett is, I still truly think that we're going to end up back there one way or another, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. Any other big things you guys thinking of? Mando,
That's
That-
all I got.
that armor still looks cool. The child doesn't do much this episode. It's not a child-centric episode. He's mostly Mando's side piece for the episode. He doesn't have one of his Force moments.
We'll watch him be scared a couple times. That's about it.
He gets to see some kind of disgusting stuff. He has a comedic moment or two
Moment where he pushes his button.
and hides
It's
when
like, no, I'm done.
when
That
Mando's
makes
using the
sense.
whistling birds.
Yep.
But no, he has moments. The Marshal's an interesting character. Maybe he'll come back.
I can
The
see it.
same way that Cara Dune and Grief Karga came back in season 1.
Yep.
We could see him.
Mando's development of droids.
Yeah, that's a good point
That's
too.
right,
At the
yeah.
beginning, he doesn't exactly like,
Oh.
but has an indifference to the point where he's not gonna hate on them.
He doesn't mind them helping out.
He's opened his mind a little bit after
All because of IG-11.
season 8.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's all I can think of for this week. To be
Well,
honest with you.
before we keep going any further, I'm just gonna spot out some quick Easter eggs. I'm a nerd for this stuff. I love
Absolutely.
the
Go
details.
Crazy. Go crazy.
So of course with Tatooine, we get there. We're of course because of the port he lands in, because he landed there last time. We're near Mos Eisley, which of course anyone knows. It's got the cantina, the famous cantina of Luke and Ben and Han Solo, Obi-Wan. That's where they all meet for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got Womprats mentioned multiple times. You see,
We finally get to see them.
that's what I think that was. Yeah,
Right.
so I'd assume.
I don't have an almanac of Star Wars
Yeah,
animals.
facts.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever
Such.
seen them, but
If I
of
had
course.
to guess, that'd be my spot on.
Boba Fett's armor, of course, big
Yeah.
big Easter egg. You've got. Was there any other big ones? Oh, they mentioned, of course, Battle of Endor. You see the Death Star, the second one. They make the second one blown up.
Yep.
You see some familiar creatures like I don't know the name of the species, but it's the one that Hera from Rebels and the girl who dies in Jabba's palace, his dancer from Return of the Jedi, the ones with the long spindly things.
Oh, yeah.
So there's those.
Yep.
You see the two fighting at the very beginning are the same guards of Jabba's palace. A lot of references to Return of the Jedi in this, funny enough, that are fighting in the ring, so that's quite interesting. The Worm, never heard of. I'm trying to think, is there any other big references that I can think of at the moment? There wasn't too many more. Mando, he references a lot of last season, and of course Jedi are mentioned, but that's his quest right now. So
in a very limited capacity.
Still not. It's not like we're seeing Luke Skywalker come out with his lightsaber and being like, "I'm here, folks," even though my actor is like 50 or 60 at this point.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, Mark Hamill, love you, man.
That'd be quite a scene.
That'd be quite a scene.
I don't know how
the de-aging technology would be quite interesting to see.
Yeah, they'd have their work cut out for them for sure.
Yeah, so that astromech droids are shown. We see one or two. Oh, that's the other one. At the very beginning of you see R4. Yeah, that was the droid that was supposed to be sold to Uncle Owen at the beginning of A New Hope, but he malfunctions. I've heard rumors that maybe R2 told him that he needed to go with C-3PO so that they could pass on the message of Princess Leia to Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I'm pretty sure it's the same droid that malfunctioned there. 99% sure that's R4. So that made me go, oh! It made me smile, so that was my big one.
Sweet.
Now before we move on to a few little end things, any thoughts for next episode? Oh, we've gone over it a bit, but any big predictions next episode? Is it going to be is it going to focus on the story some more? Or is it going to be a one-off adventure?
I think we're going to keep on flowing down that path. Other than the stuff we've covered, I don't know how much there is to say. I think it's
we haven't really seen too much.
No, we have a very small sample size for this season, but I think we're going to carry on down to, I think, Boba Fett. I think that story's got a long ways to go still.
Me too.
We have a lot more to explore there. I don't think we're done on Tatooine, but I don't think we'll spend very long in there in episode 2.
No, me neither. Yeah. Okay, so I know Austin, take it away.
Yeah, I'm gonna shamelessly plug our giveaway here. So as it's the Halloween season, we have 3 sets of movies here. So we got the first Ghostbusters, we got A Quiet Place, and we have the first 3 Insidious movies here. And so all you gotta do is go check out our Instagram page, Prairie Ground Reviews. There's posts there, you just read the instructions, follow along, and your name will get entered in the draw for that. And then on sometime November 2nd, we're gonna draw the winner for that and see who gets some of these great movies. One of us absolutely adores one of these movies.
It's me, and it's Ghostbusters.
Yeah, there might be a review about that up right now.
Yeah, go check that out. And look out for future giveaways in the future.
Yep, future.
Redundant, but
Josh likes to
you
mention where it's not
you gotta repeat it. You get in their head.
I think that's all we got.
Well, from the Prairie Ground Reviews team, see you next time.
See you next week, guys.
Bye.